My current role is as an engineering manager. I've been with my current employer for about 3 months, but I've been leading engineering teams for about 2 years. So one of the best things about working in technology and digital is that I get to work with really smart people. I get to see them build amazing products and to solve really difficult problems. I'm really blessed because I get to be in a position of leadership and I get to be able to support amazing people to reach their potential. So my passion is really to help make that happen. And the end result is that customers have amazing products that really mean something to them, products that really increase value in a business or that solve a really difficult problem for customers or consumers. So the most significant change in technology today is around culture. It's around really understanding people. So before, I think in the past, we looked at technology as the outcome and the means to the outcome. Say, well, we need better technology and we're just going to push through and drive it home and have some product out the other side. But they didn't necessarily connect with customers and didn't necessarily connect even with the engineering teams that built it. You can see that, these days there isn't a great deal of older age group of engineers. They kind of moved on to other things. I think we're kind of realizing that the software creation process is very creative and it needs a certain type of input for teams and for engineers to be able to be in the zone and be in the mode where they can reach their potential. They can actually deliver some amazing products. They can connect with what customers really want and they can think on a certain level and a certain plane that helps make tech companies and tech products really successful. In the current market, one of the most important things you can do is to build a great culture around your engineering teams and within your engineering teams. It is the one thing I think that keeps people engaged, and teams to really work well together, they need to have a culture where they can trust each other, where they have a high level of psychological safety, and where they can really understand the customer, have the freedom to innovate and to invent. And that requires a certain type of culture. It requires a different type of leadership and a type of management style. It requires a business to actually put a lot of trust into engineering teams. But the outcome is that you have an increased retention rate, you have teams that are happier, you have teams that work well together, and you have teams that actually come up with better outcomes. The process of creating software needs a certain formula to have things work. And for people to really think clearly, if you have a culture where you're driving towards deadlines all the time, then, there are certain decisions that engineers will make in response to that. And, they are doing that because they look at the whole process and go, okay, we need a certain level of quality, we need a certain level of outcome for customers, and we need to hit this certain date. And in trying to balance all those things, they will engineer a certain type of solution. Now, that may not actually be the best solution in terms of, long-term outcomes. If you want something that's more maintainable or something that's going to have less tech debt over time, then it's possible that treating dates differently might give you more consideration for those kind of problems and have those solved in a different way. And that can mean that too, engineers, they're really passionate about doing a good job. They're passionate about having a really good outcome, not only for customers, but also in terms of the quality of engineering and what they're actually putting out there. They want to be proud of their work. They want to be in a place where they have the opportunity to really build something that they're proud of. The biggest challenge for technology leaders today is to create this culture for engineers to be able to create and to be at their full potential. It requires some chaos. It requires some room to fail, some room to experiment, some room to learn. If we say to our engineers, look, take 1 day a month to go and learn something new. This is not like a day off where they just go and slack off, or it's not a day where they go and pad their resume for some new skill. This kind of action and this kind of behavior is them going out to sharpen their skills, to learn new technologies, and then to bring them back into the team. And I find too, for business leaders, our most effective way to have engineering teams work at their potential is to align all of the considerations I think that engineers really want to do a good job for the business. Not only do they want to do a good job for engineering quality or for their standards of work, but they also really want to succeed. They want to see the businesses they work for succeed. They want their customers to succeed. I think the objectives and the desires are actually aligned more than we think they are. I think it's up to business leaders to go and trust first. I think to close this gap, business leaders need to say to themselves, I'm going to go and put trust in this team, and I'm going to support them, and I'm going to give them everything that they ask for or everything that they think that they need, and we're going to work on this together, and then wait and see what the outcome is. I don't know that that space is always given to engineering teams enough. I think what I've seen in my career is me taking on the servant leadership role, where I am supporting people and growing people, mentoring people, kind of giving them more autonomy, giving them the trust, actually demonstrating that I am trusting them and doing it through my actions and through my leadership. And I've seen people respond. I've seen people just do amazing things and reach amazing levels of potential. And that is like really exciting. And it means that as a business, you get, a higher level of engineer, you get a higher level of team, you get high performance from teams. And as a leader, that means success. That's what you're aiming for. You want to have those high performing teams so you can deliver great results for customers. But I think it's up to the business leaders to step in and actually start with trust. So if I could invite 3 people to dinner, whether they be dead or alive or whatever, and why, who would they be and why would I ask them? Well, I think the first person would have to be Steve Jobs. The man was obviously a genius. The products that he created, the way that he could actually craft a product and have a vision for a product is just incredible. His visionary skills around that and be able to see into the future and go, this is where I think laptops are heading, or this is where I think, phones are heading. This is where I think, portable music devices are heading. The results just speak for themselves. It's an amazing man. And there's some issues around his personality maybe, so that would be an interesting dinner conversation. But I think just to be able to learn some of those skills or insights of how he thought would be really awesome. The second person I think would be Jimi Hendrix. I'm a bit of a muso outside of work and or even inside work too sometimes. But I think just being able to sit with the man and see what he does, live in the flesh, be able to kind of pick up some tips from him, I think just would be incredible. The third person I think would probably be maybe Martin Luther King. And the reason for that is I think, when you see people, leaders who step out and do something incredible, the incredible part of it is that he really stepped out and pushed against something in society that, he didn't have the mainstream, didn't agree with him. And, he fought a battle that, cost his life. To be able to kind of understand that view and probably understand his courage would just be an amazing thing, I think, to learn from and to be able to put, into my life and how to apply it into my life.